This podcast is brought to you by the Arte Media Pantheon. Please head to artemedia.org to see all kinds of podcasts from our great friends. And if you would like to start your own podcast, you can do so there. So that's artemedia.org. A-R-E-T-E media.org. Okay, everybody. You probably got questions, right? You're probably like, hey, I thought you guys said you were on vacation. I thought you said that you were taking a break. Why is this random video calling itself a bonus episode on the page on Sunday? Wow, okay. And why is it recorded? What is this? What is this whole deal? Okay, so I wanted to get a video up on the podcast day, and I didn't want to have to slog through 3 weeks worth of news when we got back. We are very much still on break. This is not season 4, as you can tell. We are not repping the logo because this is not an episode proper. It's just a bonus. It's just a bonus episode. But I thought we'd do a quick little bonus thing, go through some of this week's news, and yeah, this way you guys get a little bit of the podcast. For those of you on Spotify, you'll get a quick 30-minute little mini bonus podcast that you can listen to.
You get a little bit of that fix. A little bit of that spur of the moment fix that you're desperately craving.
Right. But yeah, it's important to note, we will be back on the 22nd. We will be live. We will continue to do the show as always. We are not swapping over to being pre-recorded all of a sudden. This is probably maybe a 2-time thing, but definitely at least a 1-time thing. With that, we're going to jump into some news. We're going to do some news real quick here, including that Powerpuff live-action Girls trailer.
Garbage.
Leaked. And it's not good, you guys. It's not good.
Garbage.
I have a bunch of Avengers Doomsday related news that's not labeled very well. There's a Scream 7 character who's dead, who's coming back. We'll guess who that character is. The Bambi Reckoning trailer came out, and my goodness, Simu Limu on whether or not Shang-Chi is going to be in Spider-Man 4 and more. Let's start off with Dear Lord in Heaven. Okay, let's start off with that Powerpuff Girls live action trailer, right? Like, initially when I watched this, I went, look, okay, first of all, this isn't coming out. So we don't exist in a world where this is a trailer for a thing that's coming out. This thing very much got canceled, and it's very evident why. No, you know what? I don't think it really is all that evident why, because it really kind of seems like they're trying desperately to be the Arrowverse, but with Powerpuff Girls. But just like that fundamentally doesn't work with the Powerpuff Girls.
You don't think it's evident why it got canceled? It's so cringy. It's so cringy.
Yeah, but it's equally as cringy as any of those. It's like they're fighting supervillains. There's a person,
I respectfully disagree.
They've got a quirky sidekick.
Well, okay, I should say because I haven't watched all of them. I can't judge all of them. Yeah, but it's not like any of those superhero shows. It's like Riverdale.
I mean, you're not wrong. I will say it's funny because we often have this discussion off air where you're like, you know how it's just like it's checking diversity boxes, and like it's like there's just so much of this that made me groan. Where it's like, oh my god, of course Buttercup is a non-binary lesbian because she's the lesbian one, right? She's the tough masculine one, so of course she's a fucking lesbian. Like. The fact that Mojo Jojo is neither, he's just a guy, and Blossom falls in love with his son is fucking weird.
That's where I say this show is so cringe. It's like I would definitely compare it to Riverdale, where to me it loses the entire spirit of what made the original good.
Right, and the
thing whereas like. The Flash or even Arrow or like any of the superhero ones, I don't feel it. I don't feel they lose the spirit.
I would say that the thing about the Powerpuff Girls is like it's not meant for girls. Like I know that like you would think it's a girl show, but it was created by a man, and B, it originally started off as a cartoon called The Whoop-Ass Girls, like. It's never really it's the joke is that it's little girls beating up boy characters, like that's the entire gag. So to be like, I mean, yeah, Blossom in Bubbles is there and she's effectively Paris Hilton, you're like
to the point where like what? There's an entire episode where the Powerpuff Girls go up against what is essentially the Avengers,
Yeah.
and kick their asses.
One of my favorite, I was thinking about this on the way home, like one of my favorite episodes is the, you know how every superhero show has there's the superheroes who, like, the bad guys are disguised as the superheroes, and like they're framing them or whatever. They have that episode, but it's like really obvious that it's a guy, it's just a grown adult in a dress. Like, it's just a grown adult guy dressed as them. It's really obvious that it's them, but nobody can figure out that it's them. It's really funny. It's a really funny episode. But yeah,
but no, I see why this didn't make it to air.
I get, my instincts are like, yeah, I get it, but for the CW, I don't understand. Like, it looks like it was pretty much done. It's just this. I'm surprised that the CW did it. You're right. Considering it put Riverdale to air, I cannot believe it didn't end up putting this to air for at least like half a season, or one season.
I'm don't get me wrong. I'm surprised it didn't make it to air, but I'm glad it did.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It looks just atrocious. It's
like,
amazing. Like, I'd read about this. It's incredible how bad it is.
We exist in a world where we have the Riverdale incest story and like pedophilia and all that, and yet this is what got the cut.
Yeah, right.
So it's like on the one hand, yes, I am surprised that it didn't make it to air, but I'm glad it did.
Like, Riverdale led with incest, so like you're right.
Yeah,
the fact that this didn't. The thing that I find the most that's not even like the it's the Mojo Jojo just being a guy and Blossom being having a thing for his son, like that.
I can't lie, Justin. I hated everything about that trailer. Everything, every moment. I hate the fact that they're aged up. I hate the fact that it's just, yeah. I mean, I hate saying this, but like, it's woke bullshit.
Right,
that's all it is, in the worst way. And I hate saying that because it sounds pretentious to say that.
It is, though.
You know exactly what.
Oh, yeah, in this case it is.
When a person says that, you know exactly what it means, and in this instance, it is. It is all that.
The thing, though, is like, I saw so many stupid comments of like the one person's comment was like, the worst part of this is that the professor's black, and I'm like, that's like the least worst part of this.
I mean, no. If they had
all the professor needs to do is add sugar, spice, everything nice, and accidentally put chemical X. How he looks is fucking irrelevant.
To me, that's not even like if you had the show be where it was like three like little girls with the black professor or whatever, like it
wouldn't fucking matter. It wouldn't fucking matter.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I hate everything about that trailer. That's right. Really, I can't stress that.
That's like the final thing in like the list of things. That's like the final thing. That's like the problem is the fact that the professor is black. There's so many things before that. That's the problem.
Yeah, there are so many other things in there that doesn't even register for me. To be honest, I didn't realize really that was the professor,
right?
So
that's probably
I don't know.
Yeah, glad it got canceled. So yeah, I've got a slew of Avengers.
Oh, you know what else this makes me think of? Riverdale is the biggest one, but this and maybe it was because of that show that this one didn't make it, but Velma. This makes me think of Velma and how much people viscerally hated that.
Yeah, but this doesn't like. I will give this is better than Velma in the sense that like this is at least trying to do something. It's not like actively hating. It doesn't exist to just actively hate the Powerpuff Girls. I didn't feel from this trailer.
I disagree.
That it's not in the way that Velma actively has disdain for. At least this has the Powerpuff Girls in it.
No, but that's the thing is this doesn't have the Powerpuff Girls.
No, but I mean they are still in effect. What I'm saying is like. I would agree with you.
Velma absolutely had disdain for what made Scooby-Doo, but this is not the Powerpuff Girls.
Right, but I don't think this has disdain. I don't think that. I think that this is absolutely trying to be like trying to.
I don't think that it necessarily has disdain. I think it completely misses the point and is not the Powerpuff Girls.
What makes Velma worse is that it actively has disdain for Scooby-Doo. That's the difference. This doesn't. This as
To
cringy
be
and as
fair,
awful as it is, it at least is trying to be like, okay, it's asking a question, and it's asking the question, okay, what if the Powerpuff Girls, like, what if they were real, and what if the cartoon that their lives were based on was like a highly fictionalized version of their lives, and they were real people, and what if they grew up? Like, it's at least attempting to ask a question, whereas Velma's entire purpose is to actively shit on you for liking Scooby Doo. Like, that's why Velma's worse
yeah,
by
I hate
like
both.
a country mile. Yeah, at least this had the good decency to not get put to air. Um,
That's true.
Although I suspect that this trailer getting leaked is an attempt to build interest from stupid Gen Zers who will be like, "This looks." I saw a person said, "We missed out on this." I'm like, "We missed out on nothing. Sit down."
Sit
um,
down and shut up.
did you see, Jordan? We didn't talk about this on the finale, but did you watch or did you see the concept art for Doomsday that got leaked for Avengers
No,
Doomsday? There was some
no.
interesting stuff. It's hard. The thing about this is like it's hard for me to show you pictures, and it's hard to describe them to an audio audience. But like there was a couple of them that were kind of neat. That looked like there were maybe some. I don't know if they were variants, Hulk variants, but you saw there was one shot of She-Hulk, Scar, and Hulk, like Smart Hulk, but like they're in kind of a feudal kind of village.
Well,
Um,
that's the thing, though, is it's so hard to tell what's real and what's not real. Because, like, I've heard theories that we were essentially going to get variant versions of the original Avengers, but they're all evil.
yeah,
So
I told you that. I think we talked about it on the show. Um,
my point, though, is that for
yeah,
all we know, that's real. Like, I don't know what's real, what's not
I
real. I don't
think
like looking at leaked stuff.
I think that this I think this was real. I don't, but there was one pretty cool picture of Doctor Doom where like he looks like Doctor Doom. He's wearing the mask. No Robert Downey Jr. in sight. And there was a rumor. Again, we don't like to deal with rumors around here, but there was a rumor that that Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom was a red herring, and that he wasn't real Doom, and that real Doom is in this movie, and he's going to show up at the end.
I think we had a theory along those
That was kind
lines.
of one of our hopes, certainly. But that's me doing the real long wind up to say that apparently, according to the director, Robert Downey Jr. is writing Doctor Doom's backstory, which just kind of tells you that he's probably going to be a Tony Stark variant.
Yep.
Which
Sucks.
That's what that kind of tells me.
It tells me that he's gonna come from a world where there was evil Avengers, and he's the evil Avenger.
Yup.
He's evil. He's evil Iron Man.
I kind of although I'm not against like if it turns out that he's not Doom and he is an evil Tony Stark and Doom shows up and this all culminates in something worthwhile and interesting. Look, man, I like the Russo brothers. I like Robert Downey Jr. I am cynical in my heart, but like I'm willing to give this a chance. And also, I kind of discovered not to you haven't been watching Invincible, right?
No.
You should. This season's really good. But this last week they did do you know what happens in Invincible? Some of the stuff?
I mean, all I know is that they do multiverse shit, and he sees
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
There's a big fight between a bunch of different versions of Invincible. And it is honestly sick. And it's like I kind of realized I like variants. I like it when we get to see multiple versions of a character, and when you do that, when you embrace, because people are like so into this episode of Invincible, and they're like, "Why is this working in Invincible when it's not working in Marvel?" It's like that's because they did multiple versions of the character properly. Like they did multiple different unique versions of the character where like you're curious, oh, what's the deal with this version of this character, but they like don't go out of their way to explain it. It's just a visual difference. It's kind of like in the Spider-Man movie where you have all these different versions of Spider-Man where it's like if you want to go look up what that version's backstory is, you can, but you don't need to know it. It's just multiple versions of the character. Like that's what we want.
To be fair, Marvel has done it. It's just
they've yet to do
they
it.
don't. They're not consistent with it.
Yeah.
So like for example, what they did in Loki was fun, where you had multiple visual
right?
versions
But then
of
they didn't
Loki,
they didn't do it again.
but
It's like
they don't follow through with it. Is the
right,
problem?
and then people are like, oh, I've seen so many stupid videos of people being like, oh, um, like they should have recast Kang, or they couldn't recast Kang. It's like he's the one guy you can easily recast. His whole bit is there's like a bajillion of him. Just be like, this is the one that doesn't look like the original guy. Like it would be so easy. Like I don't understand. Anyway, next bit of Doomsday.
I mean, that's not even talking about the fact that with Kang, you could have versions of him which require like CG or 3D or whatever, and just have him in a mask or have him in an outfit or have him in something
He
that makes
has a
him look
mask.
distinctly different enough that they can't be sued for using the likeness of the other guy.
Right. So yeah, apparently there was. Huh.
Not that hard.
Oh, they were asked about casting, obviously with Avengers Doomsday, and this her name has popped up a couple of times. I've seen her name pop up, but Millie Bobby Brown. They're talking about maybe she might be in an MCU thing, and one of the I'm like, who would you have Millie Bobby Brown as? And one of the rumors that popped up that was interesting, was Rogue, and I'm not for that, but also I'm not against it either.
So, is it weird that okay, Rogue? I wouldn't necessarily be against Rogue, is what I'll say. I have two potential ones which I think would be interesting, and one of them is really random, and I know nothing about the character, and the name just kind of popped into my head. We'll go with the one that I actually know first. I think she could be an interesting Jean Grey.
Interesting.
Um,
Interesting.
um,
That's an
and
interesting
then,
choice.
and then the random one which popped into my head that I don't really know anything about the character and I just think it would be funny is Squirrel Girl.
You know what's so funny? It's so funny that okay, you know we have those moments where we have the same brain. I was gonna the minute I was gonna say Squirrel Girl. I was legit. I was gonna be like, why don't we have a Squirrel Girl?
No way.
I was gonna say Squirrel Girl. I was absolutely gonna say Squirrel Girl.
I don't know
I
why.
was
It's
waiting
just
for you to say your random second one, and then I was going to say Squirrel Girl. I'm not even
it's
kidding.
just she just something I don't know. I just get that just
Yeah. Because her like other than Stranger Things career has always been like a girl of whimsy, and yeah, I do. I also get why you would say Jean Grey because like Jean Grey is kind of a step away from 11. I could see why you would do that. I'm not seeing her as Rogue. I don't know who I would do as Rogue.
Rogue. It depends. It
I don't
depends
know
on
what I
if
would
we're
do.
going for Rogue. It depends on if we're doing like the younger version, like we've had in previous X-Men movies, or if we're doing like more like the '90s cartoon version, where I read her as older.
I kind of wouldn't mind doing. She's the
Like,
character where I think you can race swap with her. I think you could easily race swap with her, and have her be a person of color. I'm not sure who. The thing with the X-Men is I'm not tied to them. The only one I really am is Wolverine, and my fan casting for Wolverine is always Taron Egerton. Although I did quite enjoy Henry Cavill as Wolverine. I did kind of was like I'd watch a Henry Cavill Wolverine. The X-Men's tough for me though because I don't know them well enough or care about them enough to fan cast them really well. Like there's certain heroes I can like, oh, I know who I want, but they're just ones where
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know for Rogue. I have a couple I have a couple people who like I kind of
You need someone
I
with
can
some like grit.
picture them. But like there's certain characters where you're
Oops.
right that I can picture, but like what's her name? Emma Frost.
Oh yeah, Emma Frost.
Emma Frost, the character. She's the psychic one that can have her skin turn to diamonds,
Yeah,
right?
it's like pick a power. Yeah. That's the one.
Um, I can picture and I'm blanking on the actress's name. She's a really famous one. She was in Clerks too.
Rosario Dawson.
She's yeah. I can picture her as Emma Frost.
Really interesting choice. You know, there's people out there who would say to you, she needs to be a blonde white woman, because that's what she is in the
No,
comics.
no. I for whatever reason I could picture her
I,
as
I,
Rosario Dawson.
I don't know. Again, I don't. The movies have done a quite not a very good job
Like
adapting her, so I
to
don't know her
me, she's
character.
got to all she's got to be is to me for me. This is maybe sexist that I know so little about the character. She's got to be an attractive woman who has psychic powers and can turn her skin to diamonds.
That's yeah. To my knowledge, the only thing I really know about that character is I believe her and Scott Summers get together for a bit
I think so.
when Jean is dead. It's either he cheats on Jean with her, but they wind up getting together in some capacity. That's really all. Yeah, I don't. Ironically, I like Marvel more, but I read more DC comics, so I know DC characters just better than I
But
do.
there's a lot when it comes to Marvel. There's a
Yeah.
lot of
Well,
characters.
when I was a kid, I used to read trade paperbacks from the library, which you did the same. And the library
Yeah.
we used to take them out from, they mostly usually had DC comics. And there was a lot of times where it was like,
Although
wow, it's
they
surprising the
had
library
some
lets this exist. This is borderline pornographic.
that library had some cool ones too. That's where I first read some of those Marvel DC crossover
Oh
comics,
yeah, yeah,
which
same.
is impressive because those are actually surprisingly hard to find.
They are. Yeah, yeah. That's the one.
So it was impressive that the library had those.
That's where I read one of my favorite my two favorite Superman comics, obviously Red Sun, and I wish I could remember what it was called, but it's the one where it was written by
Where
John
he
Cleese,
where he lands in Britain.
where he lands in Britain. Yeah, and his nemesis is a
Yeah,
guy with a cricket bat in his chest. I love that comic. It's so good.
yeah.
And some
That's
people
funny.
like the Weekly Planet. One of my favorite podcasts. They think it's really bad, but it's one of my favorite comics of all time because it's so stupid. But yeah, there were some comics where I was like, "Whoa, this is in the kids section." So Jordan,
Like Watchmen.
so here's the we're gonna play a game, Jordan. We're gonna guess how long do you think Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars might be? What is your guess for runtime?
Which comes first?
Doomsday.
Doomsday, I think, will be somewhere between 2.5 and 3 hours.
Okay. What about
Uh,
Secret Wars?
Secret Wars. Oh, somewhere between 3 and 3.5.
You think 3.5? Wow. What did Endgame was 3, right? Or it was about 3. I don't think it went over
I
3.
I think I
Let's find
think you.
out.
I would say my guess would be like
Stall while I
closer
find
to
out.
my guess would be closer to 3. But
Okay.
I'm picturing a movie which has a lot of cameos and a lot of stuff shoved in it.
Really? So
Um.
apparently Endgame is 3 hours and 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I would say about 3.
You're spot on. They said that the first part, the Russo brothers said that they figured, obviously they don't know yet, they haven't started making it, that the first one will be about 2.5, and the second one will be about 3 hours. Which, yeah, I mean, that kind of aligns with Endgame. It just makes sense.
Yeah, that checks. That
That
tracks.
just tracks.
But the real question is, at the end of Secret Wars, will that be it, or will they set up for whatever the next
I
saga is going to be and keep beating this dead horse until
I imagine they will amalgamate all the universes into one generic universe where they can make any movies, and then the movies will be individualized from that point on.
I guess we'll find out.
That would be my theory. If it were up to, I think that they should. Although I feel a similar way about Star Wars, series finale. That's it, and then in like 10 years, then they make more.
Oh no, Justin. What I think they should do, and I think you'll agree with me when I say this, is you do Secret Wars and you let people think that that's the end and that's it, and then you come out with one final movie that's like the MCU. You bring back everyone and you do Deadpool kills the MCU.
I mean, yes, that should be. Well, yeah, they should do.
And that's how you kill that's how you finish the MCU is with Deadpool
I
killing
mean,
it.
I would love that, but also Ryan Reynolds is like, nah, no more Deadpool 5. But I would love that. I mean, I just want him to show up. I'm positive he's showing up in a Secret Wars. Like, there's no like to me, Secret Wars is you bring back like literally every single Doomsday, either one of those. You bring back every single actor who is willing to do this. Every single
I
one.
think if they're smart, they will have learned from Endgame, and instead of having them all be in Secret Wars, you'll spread it between the
Oh,
two.
for sure they
And
will.
and over the course of the two, you have every single
Yeah, I would
person
have
that you can get back from
every
that.
single, whether they're from Fox, whether they're from, like, this is the moment, this is where you do it, this is where you celebrate superhero movies as a whole, and then we stop making them. Boom,
I
done.
mean, I don't know
That's
that
it.
I would say stop making them, but I would say stop making MCU and just go back to doing like Sam Raimi movies and
Yeah, oh
like
yeah,
this movie and that movie.
like every
Like I don't
5
think that
years
it
you
should
get like
be.
a random Spider-Man movie that is unconnected to the rest of the
Yeah,
universe. Yes,
like
yeah,
like,
that
like
I'm okay with. No more
I don't
MCU, I
think.
guess is the point.
Yeah, that I could agree with, or at
Like
least for a long,
like
long, long
focus
time.
on making individual good movies that are good. Stop trying to connect them to bullshit.
And so this is where you cut in because this makes me think of this. This is where you cut in if you were editing this. Um, we think it's best for your character for you to go back to the digging of your individual holes instead of the big, like from holes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we need you to
We
do
think
the.
me like the warden and I think that your character development is best served by going back to the creation of your individual movies and not just one big thing.
So Jordan, that's that's
So
that's
Justin,
that's it. That's I think that's all the Marvel. Well, there's one more Marvel adjacent piece of news that's coming in a bit, but that's all the Marvel news. This is becoming very Marvel heavy. So Jordan, Scream 7 cast is gonna bring back another dead character. Jordan, I would like you, based with your limited knowledge on the Scream franchise, to guess which character you think that's going to be.
Matthew Lillard.
You can't guess Matthew Lillard.
He's literally the only one that I know that's in it. So,
Take any character. Just,
um, the blonde one.
oh my god, Jordan, let's find out if it's the blonde one. Wait, what?
How amazing would it be if it was the blonde one?
No, it's absolutely not the. Wait, what? How is that? That's not possible. Huh? I was not expecting that. Okay.
It's the blonde. It's the blonde one, isn't it?
Okay. So okay. How am I gonna do this? This is gonna require some explanation. So the character that they're bringing back is the David Arquette character, Deputy Dewey, which is the cop. The cop who's he's the love interest of Courtney Cox's character. I swear to God, you've at least seen the first one once. He's got the mustache, brown, dark hair. Anyway, he was a major character in all the first 4 movies. Him, Sydney, the Courtney Cox character, and I believe that's it. They had been in every single one up until the 5th one, and the 5th one was it was a requel. So it's a reboot slash sequel, kind of like your Force Awakens, where it's got it's got the legacy characters are there, but it's also introducing the new characters. You know what I mean?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So the Scream movies, very broadly, are a parody of horror movies, and so this was a parody of the requel, and they have these are all the rules of the requel. And the one rule they left out of the requel, which irritates me about that movie, is the legacy characters are not safe. Like, that's the one thing about the requel. You can kill off a legacy character because that shows that your your new villains mean business. And so in that movie, they killed off Dewey. And that was a big deal because he's a main character. You're like, oh, he should be safe. But he's a legacy character, which makes him not safe. So this news is they are somehow...
He's a Han Solo.
Yeah, exactly. That's Han Solo. He's a legacy character. His purpose is to die to show that the new villains are big, bad, and evil. They have it's a similar thing for like King Cold in Dragon Ball Z. So similar idea. Not really, but anyway, they're bringing back Dewey for Scream 7, which like that he died. I don't unless he's gonna come back in like flashbacks maybe. I don't know, but that movie's funny because everyone was it was supposed to be the 3rd in the new trilogy, with this new main character who is essentially new Sydney, and the old Sydney didn't come back for the last one, and so or the original Sydney, she didn't come back for the last one. They kicked the new girl out of that movie because of her opinions on the stuff in the Middle East. and they brought back original Sydney, and just kind of going to show that there's always the correct amount of money to do something.
I mean, yeah.
There's always the correct amount of money.
Usually anyway.
Usually there is the correct amount of money. So yeah, that he got brutally stabbed by a ghost face. I don't know how he could possibly be bad. I'm so fast. That Scream 7 is going to be a train wreck.
As a zombie?
Or in flashbacks, I guess.
Or in flashbacks, or he's haunting someone. Like it's like you know, like in Spider or Amazing Spider-Man 2, when Peter keeps seeing Gwen Stacy's dad.
Maybe that is possible. That is possible. I mean, they brought back Billy Loomis, the original Ghostface, as a ghost. Like he's because the big twist with the fifth one, spoiler, is that she is Billy Loomis's daughter, and so the whole movie she's being haunted by a de-aged the guy. Skeet Ulrich is the actor's name. You would know him from, you remember Riverdale?
Yeah, I do know that show. Yes.
You know Jughead's dad?
Not strongly enough that I would say yes.
He's Jughead's dad. He's original Ghostface.
Okay.
He shows up throughout the movie, de-aged to look like he was when he was a teenager, when he was young in the first movie, as a ghost. And then he's in the second, I think he's in the second one too, where he's trying to convince her to kill people. It gets really weird. She stabs people a lot for someone who's supposed to be a good guy. Those movies are very odd. In season 5, probably, we'll probably be on season 5 next October. I'll probably get you to do the Scream movies, because those later ones are weird. Anyway, the Marvel adjacent news is they're making a remake of Vertigo with Robert Downey Jr., which, like, I know you're like, what is that movie? I've never heard of it. Vertigo is wait, have you heard of Vertigo? No, I didn't.
No, I was literally gonna say, what the hell is Vertigo?
Vertigo, Jordan, is the sensation you get where you feel dizzy.
What the hell is the movie Vertigo? You jackass!
It's an Alfred Hitchcock movie about, what was Vertigo? It stars Jimmy Stewart, and it's a crime mystery. There's a big twist. I don't remember what the big twist is. It's been a minute since I've seen it. But the whole thing is the that's what it is. It's Jimmy Stewart. I think it's like he's been framed for a murder of somebody, and his whole thing is he's afraid of being up high. So when he goes up high, he gets vertigo. And the big climax of the movie is him trying to climb up a big tower with his vertigo. It's quite a good movie. I quite enjoy it. It has Jimmy Stewart in it, and he makes out with a way too young woman, as he did in all of his movies, and it's uncomfortable in that regard. But it's otherwise quite a good movie that, like, I will totally watch it with Robert Downey Jr. In fact, probably in the next season I will orchestrate a way to make you watch Alfred Hitchcock movies, because his movies are actually pretty good. It's interesting. It's going to be written by Stephen Knight. It's actually hold on, let's see if this actually says it. No, it does not say. It doesn't give a... Here it is. In San Francisco, an ex-police officer who suffers from an intense fear of heights rescues a mysterious blonde from the Bay and must unravel the secrets of the past and find the key to his future. Yeah, it's really good. It's quite good.
That sure sounds like a movie.
Yeah. I'll find a way to make you watch the original one day. We'll find an excuse via the show to make you watch it. And so, sorry, I forgot. There's another piece of Marvel news that I forgot. Simu Liu on whether Spider-Man 4 will be back, or Spider-Man 4 will bring back Shang-Chi, which, like, I'm kind of down for that team up.
I would be so down for that team up.
I would be so down for that team up.
I have way more interest and desire to see that.
You know what?
Than Daredevil and Spider-Man teaming up.
Apparently that Daredevil show is not very good. I'd say it's really
Shocker.
Funny. It's funny.
The original wasn't very good, so that's not really that surprising.
There's nothing like people getting upset about the thing that makes me laugh, right? Is when people are like, "Oh, I'm no spoilers, but a really upsetting twist happens in the first in the first two episodes. I don't know if this is what the spoiler is, but based on context clues, I'm gonna spoil it. You obviously don't care.
About what?
Like if I spoil a big spoiler from the new Daredevil show.
Not really.
So, everyone in the reviews of that show, I watched one podcast whose review, well, the one guy was super upset. Like, there's a couple of big swings that happened in the first 2 episodes, and the big thing with this reboot is initially, his 2 sidekick characters from the original show, Foggy and Karen, weren't going to be in it. And then they rewrote everything to connect it to and it was going to be like more or less a reboot and not be connected to the Netflix show, and that made all of the fans of the Netflix show pissed off. So they rewrote it, did a bunch of reshoots, brought in the 2 sidekick characters, the Karen Page and Foggy, those 2 characters, brought those actors in, got them in it, reshot a bunch of stuff, put them in the show, and yeah, people in the reviews are like, oh, we're really upset about these big swings. So it's just like, yeah, it's really obvious they get killed off immediately. Like, it's just really apparent from how upset people are. And it's just really funny when people are like, no spoilers, but it's like, yeah, you guys are really, like, making it obvious what happens without saying it. It's like, it's very evident.
You're telegraphing it very hard.
Right, that it's very obvious that they get killed. It's like, that's... Like that, if I were to guess, like hard cut to when we come back and we finally do our Marvel television show, episode, and I've watched that show and I'm like, yeah, they killed off Karen and Foggy in the first 2 episodes. Like I guarantee you that's what happens. That makes me, and I don't feel attached enough to those characters to care. Like I don't really care about most of the characters on that show. I watch it because it's unbelievably graphic and violent, and it's fun to watch Daredevil beat the crap out of people. Like it's fun to watch the Kingpin decapitate a guy with a car door. That was sick. It's fun to watch Punisher punish people.
See, no, Punisher show was boring.
To be fair, we didn't get to any of the good shit, but he was really good in Daredevil. Daredevil season 2, like it's hard because Jessica Jones season 1 is like it's really good. But
yeah, that one is.
Daredevil season 2 might be the second best. Because it's really good. Like, it's really good. It's one of my favorite seasons. And to be fair, Daredevil season 1, like the first 2 to 3 episodes of that show, I remember being like, I mean, it's better than the Ben Affleck one, but it's kind of dull. But by like episode, I think 3 or 4, I was like, oh, okay, I know, I'm really into this. That's a show I'd like to reapproach. Because yeah, I'd like to see if I like it better. Now that I'm like a snooty film guy.
No, I was gonna say, now that you're a snob.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm halfway to making you a snob. So like, you said some snob-esque stuff, which I think is funny. Anyway, Jordan, let's play some. Let's play. Oh yeah. Right. Oh right. Okay.
Snakes and ladder.
No, we're gonna play. Here we go, Jordan. Superhero interview roulette. So, Jordan, Simu Limo asked about Shang-Chi's possible return in the director of Shang-Chi, Spider-Man 4's Spider-Man 4. So the director of Shang-Chi is directing Spider-Man 4. Simu Limu asked whether or not Shang-Chi would appear in that movie. What do you think he said? Go.
The Marvel machine has got a tight grip on my vocal box. I can't really confirm or deny anything at this point, but it would be a lot of fun, and I'm totally open to anything that they want to do in that regard.
Wow, you nailed it. You absolutely this time even more so than the last time you nailed it. He said, he laughed and he responded, "Oh, I'm not even going near that one." He continued, "I haven't heard anything," but acknowledged his enthusiasm for Marvel projects, saying, "I love people who love those movies, and I also love those movies." So, yeah, you pretty well nailed it.
Yeah, I can neither confirm nor deny, but I'm fucking down.
I'm fucking
down. Basically the summation.
I hadn't even considered Shang-Chi, like, in terms of Marvel team-up characters, but, like, it being the director of Shang-Chi, I mean, it makes sense. You know, he can shoot Shang-Chi. I would absolutely watch Shang-Chi and Spider-Man team up for a movie. Like, that
absolutely
sounds
Plus, they
rad.
have they have the tangential. Although they've made it where people forget who Peter is, but they have the tangential link of Doctor Strange knows Spider-Man. Wong knows Shang-Chi.
True.
That's how
Um,
that's how they that's how they
and
meet.
from the comics, I mean, if you still must include Daredevil, you could also like Daredevil and Shang Chi and Iron Fist all have a history together. And same with Luke Cage, like that. Like all those characters have a history. That would be a way to bring that side of the universe into it as well. I mean, I know that they're constantly talking about bringing Jessica Jones back. Like, I don't want the Defenders to come back, but look, if you can do it better than last time,
So here's what I'll say. Um, I don't necessarily mind them having a team called the Defenders, but like let's change it. So like instead of maybe Iron Fist being on there, we could have
I
Spider-Man.
mean, sure, but also like the thing about Iron Fist is apparently season 2 of that show is all right. But like, if he were in a better thing or a where it were a significantly more interesting, because I like the version of Iron Fist that's on Ultimate Spider-Man, the one that's a super hippy dippy guy who's voiced by the guy who does Beast Boy.
Sure, I
I like
think
that version
though
of Iron Fist.
I think for me, um,
It's just the show was crap.
and maybe this is an unpopular opinion. I would have him be a secondary character in the second Shang-Chi movie.
That was the rumor, yeah, that they were gonna do. Well, I don't know because there was a bunch of rumors as to whether or not they were gonna hold on to the guy from the Netflix show and they were gonna bring him
Oh
back.
no, no.
God,
I would
don't
not
do
bring
that.
him
Well,
I would not bring him back. I would recast.
okay. Offhand, I'm like, no, dog, no. But like from my recollection, I don't think he was bad in it. I just think the writing in that show was atrocious and the direction
Oh, I more just mean
and the
like
fact
I'd
that he
like
didn't do a single fight.
I I'd like a fresh face is more
Well,
what
yeah,
is more my point.
the rumor was, and this was, people were being like, this is the problem with the woken bullshit. But there was the rumor that they were gonna do because there's more than one version of Iron Fist because comic books, and the second version of Iron Fist is an Asian guy. Um,
Yeah, that'd
so
work with Shang-Chi.
right, exactly. So yeah, there was one of the rumors for what Shang Chi was gonna be that he was gonna go to the city that Iron Fist is from, and it was going to involve Fing Fang. I think it was. Well, I don't know if these were separate rumors, but at one point it was going to involve Fing Fang Foom. That's what the signal was going to be that they were tracking. But yeah, they were going to involve that version of Iron Fist, and they were going to reintroduce Iron Fist into the universe. But yeah, I like Jessica Jones. I'm always down for a world where we bring Jessica Jones back. I could take or leave the rest of it.
I like that show.
Also, I genuinely do like. I do like Charlie Cox as Daredevil. I just wish he was in more interesting stuff. To be fair, I do want to watch season 3 of Daredevil. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a Marvel television. Maybe we'll just do a strict Marvel. Like I know I said Marvel stuff we missed, but like we might just do a Marvel television and then Marvel stuff we missed. Like we might do those separately because I think there's enough of Marvel television we haven't seen and have seen where like we can do just a Marvel television episode. I think. I don't know. Me and you will chat about it off air.
That's season 5 problem.
That's season 4, Jordan. Season 4.
Oh no! I'm saying like that could be season 5.
That could be. Jordan, they canceled a Princess and the Frog television show at Disney Plus, and I'm kind of disappointed about that. It's a shame they haven't done a ton with Princess and the Frog. Like, it feels like they could have done more with that universe.
Yeah, people are racist.
People are racist. I think it's because people didn't like. It's Disney and Disney panic. So like, it's probably because people weren't super or weren't as responsive to
The ride.
yeah, as they maybe were expecting. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
I mean, I just think people are racist.
Yeah, but it was gonna be like a Tiana like travels around the world show was the idea apparently.
So that would have been fun.
I know. That sounds cute. And then Jordan finally in this little bonus mini episode of the show that is going up unedited. By the way, I will not edit this.
I will not save the rainforest.
This will be largely unedited. Jordan, they I don't know if you recall, um, with a Winnie the Pooh thing you beloved childhood thing you love but unpleasant universe.
Yeah. I've never seen it, but yes, I'm aware that it
They're
exists.
making a Bambi one, Jordan. I think
Oh
we
yeah,
talked.
that we talked about that. They're talking. There's the Bambi one. They're doing the Peter Pan one.
Yep.
They're doing. Oh, there was another one. What was it? Screamboat Willie.
Screamboat Willie. Yeah, Haley sent
The
me the
Grinch.
trailer for Screamboat Willie, and I won't lie, it's got the guy who plays Art the Clown in it, and that just immediately makes me interested in it and at least watching it.
Nah, man.
Well,
Nah, no,
that's
no.
we'll do that for Halloween. We'll do that for a Halloween. By the time that probably comes out, it'll be Halloween. Anyway, Bambi the Reckoning. The second trailer for it came out, and I'm inclined to send it to you because it is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in my life. It is so violent. It's over the top violent. And the acting is bad, but in like a slasher flick kind of fun way, not like a they don't talk like humans way. The deer is nonsense. It's just attacking random people randomly for seemingly no reason, and the plot of the movie seems to be that they want to like bring it out, and it's not like, oh, it's a regular deer and it's angry. It's like an evil demon deer with like gnarly teeth
I
and
mean,
it's
of
eating
course it
people.
is because if it was just a normal deer, Justin, there's someone that you call to deal with rabid animals. It's called animal control. There wouldn't be much of a movie if it was just a normal
Like
deer.
it's, I mean, Jordan, don't get me wrong. It's very much impaling people with its antlers, but it's also like ripping people's throats out with its like gnarled teeth. It is like it's kind of barely. I don't really fully understand the connection to Bambi. It just this could just be called Evil Deer. Like there really isn't anything about it that's making it look like Bambi. But I will say, if you like, I'll send you the trailer. Like, look, I'm not gonna say it doesn't look fun. It's not like it doesn't feel like it's debasing a thing I love. Maybe it's because I'm not overly attached to Bambi. To be fair, the original Bambi scared the shit out of me. So like when I was a child, a small child, the back half of that movie is very aggressive.
A young, impressionable
Yeah, it's a
child.
very angry movie. But yeah, that's the news, everybody. Thank you for
I mean,
tuning
like,
into the news.
what's next? Are we gonna have Rapunzel? But it's a psycho killer, and she strangles people with her hair.
I
Because
mean,
I'd be kind of down for that.
I mean, only if it's in public domain. I mean, I suppose theoretically.
Well, I mean, the character Rapunzel, not specifically the Disney one, but the character Rapunzel, I feel like has to
It's
be
got to be right. It's got to be in public domain. I'm sure it
like
is.
Brothers Grimsby or whatever
Yeah,
version.
I feel like it probably is. I feel like it probably is. Um, Jordan, that's it.
But that's
That's
that's the news.
before we
That's it.
before we leave. Um,
Just gonna.
before we take off. Yeah, that's it. That's the news. Thank you for joining us on this special bonus episode of the Spur of the Moment podcast, Jordan. When we're back from vacation, where can the people find you?
Zethgore 187, Twitch, Minecraft Monday, the whole dealio.
I am on TikTok. I'm at Justin Spur. The show's on the TikTok. It's Spur of the Moment P. If you want to sponsor the show, you can email the show. It's justinsbusiness@gmail.com. You can join the Discord. You can sponsor us chucking a buck on Patreon. That's pretty sweet. We will be back on for sure with the main show on the March 22nd. I queued a special what's coming in season 4 video to go out the day we get back, but we might be back next Sunday in one of these special bonus videos to talk about that week's news. But
No promises.
we'll see how we feel. I'm like 75% committed to the idea.
I'm 60%.
Yeah, but your commitment level is only nominally important to me. As in, not that important to me.
I'm 60%.
But we might be back for that. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, you will see while we are gone. You will see videos coming up about from our spy episode, various videos about. I think I got one. I don't remember what they all are. I made them all today. It was a blur. I think I got one about Argyle coming up soon if it hasn't already. There's one about Jordan I gave Jordan a brain aneurysm with Being John Malkovich, which just tells me I think I'm gonna have to find a way, contrive a way to get him to watch Being John Malkovich for the show, just to see if how I compared it stacks up. But that's all coming March 22nd. We will definitely be back. We will be back with anime. I don't know if Soraya has confirmed. She might be here. She might not be. Regardless, we will be back with anime. I'm excited to talk about Metal Hero. I'm excited for season 4. Get excited for season 4. Hey Jordan, you want to do an end card with me?
We're gonna make the Spur of the Moment podcast great again.
We're gonna make it great again. You know what, Jordan? Since we're pre-recorded this, let's do an end card slate, and we'll toss it up here. Thank you for tuning in to this very special bonus episode. If you would like to see the season finale of the show that we just did, the big long, I think it was like 3-hour season finale, Jordan, they can click on the left. Tell them they can click on the left.
They can click on the left.
And Jordan,
if they want to watch, and if they want to watch one that YouTube recommends, then they can watch one on the right.
Right. And Jordan, what should they do if they haven't already?
Like, subscribe, share.
That's right. If you
share.
Drop us a like. Hitting like helps us like way more than you realize. I don't think people appreciate that. So leave us a like. Yeah, hit subscribe if you haven't. And we will see you all in the next video.